to you by Adam and Eve, your luxury homeware store. Of course, I have my unequivocal co-host, the Big Bird.
Lagos, how on a deal this Friday morning? I hope I don't see my time for outside, though.
Listen, when I woke up, I was like, what am I seeing?
I say,
the fog was out of this world.
My daughter had not seen this kind of fog before.
Oh,
she hadn't. What's going on. Taking her to school, she's like, daddy, kilo shele.
Is anything going on?
What go on?
So you see this summertime, I don't know, it's like it's playing tricks on us or it's playing mind games. Like, are you coming, are you not coming? Are you here to stay for a few weeks or are you not? Because it's a bit confusing.
I think it's the whole climate change thing.
Oh, there you go.
You know, I mean, it is obviously that
it's quite an unpredictable weather now.
Yeah, there's climate change happening. We have the entire corporate world to blame for that. You know, can you guys just be more green?
Well,
less plastic. When is Nigeria going to ban plastic?
When Nigeria is as enlightened as should be as regards that.
Because Ghana, they've banned like the use of plastic bags. I heard. Like,
Nigeria, if you talk to Nigerians and you ask a lot of Nigerians, let me say a lot of Nigerians, why we should go green, they have no response to that. So I think a lot of enlightenment needs to take place as regards climate change and what we could do as citizens to
you know, it is difficult for Nigerians to engage with all those kind of socio-political issues because we just can't afford it.
But there were monies sequestered.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about even the government. I'm saying like personally, privately, like the simple things we can do to encourage the health of our environment. You know, those things are difficult for common people to do. In fact, I don't even think Nigeria should even, but how much light are we using? Where is the light going to create the climate, to waste to waste energy to create the pollution? What is Africa's carbon footprint?
Wow.
Let's calculate the entire African carbon footprint. I'm sure it's not up to the carbon footprint of just London alone, So maybe we're not adding too much in that aspect.
Yeah, we probably aren't. But let's start with even enlightenment. Let's understand what climate change is and how we all play a role. But that is another conversation for another day. Welcome to another episode of The People's Perspective. We have some stories that we're going to be delving into today. Remember... Delve.
I love some English words.
The People's Perspective is brought to you by Adam and Eve. All right, let's start off with this particular story as regards the amendment of the Constitution. The House of Reps have rejected the idea of state policing. So 14 voted against it and 11 voted for it. Now, we know that there has been heavy criticism as regards our current structure of policing, which is the federal structure of policing in Nigeria.
We make that superintendent of police one beat Sanwo-Olu for my good.
Of the police officers were rejoicing afterwards. It was embarrassing. This is where the conversation actually, somewhat gets a bit complicated. We've spoken about the governor being seen as the chief security officer of a state, but they do not have as much influence over policing. Now, just speaking about, our current structure, which is the federal structure of policing, one of the criticisms that we have faced in recent time and in so many years is the fact that we are structurally deficient to contain the gravity of insecurity that we are seeing and facing now in Nigeria. And one of the members of the House who rejected this bill, this is what he had to say, because he had said that it was somewhat unwise to give such powers to governors, over the police. And this is what he had to say. He said, and I quote, "There are a lot of things as regards the creation of state police. There's a lot of apprehension as regards most especially the nature of the country, how we are almost, in some cases, divided, and any governor can decide to take out whatever security measures against political opponents." We know that this idea of organized policing can date as far back as a colonial creation, so to speak. And we also know that, taking a look at what was obtainable at the time, we had something similar to state policing, which was called native policing, so to speak. And they had mentioned that it was one of the most corrupt and insulted institutions, because some political office holders or politicians were using it, maybe to rig elections and using it against their political opponents. And remember how it somewhat got broken off through some recommendations by Aguiyi-Ironsi, and then later on, finally, they went into federal policing completely. And we've seen that in the past, something similar to state policing has existed but has not worked, because they said it was being abused and they were using it, as a form of, political thuggery against their opponents. But people are still asking for state policing today. So, Seun, just taking us through, what was obtainable before in the past when we had native policing, and with people pushing for state policing right now, saying that the federal government is inundated with other issues for them to focus on insecurity. So what's your take on that?
No, I think this decision is not a decision about the welfare or the security of the people. It's basically how would I put it, a political decision. They didn't make the decision based on being prudent or being constitutionally justified. Because if we're in the federal system, states must have the power to police themselves. I mean, even local governments, so in America, for example, you have local, state, and federal police. Federal police is FBI. When you hear NYPD, that's the state.
Yes.
New York, when you hear the sheriff, New York Sheriff's Office, the local police department, because politics, just like policing, must be local. To truly police an area, you must know that area.
Exactly.
You must be from that area. So policing must be left to the community. The community must police itself. That's why states have state, local have local policing. Because that is how you truly solve crime. Because solving crime is about knowing your environment. Because the true way to solve crime is to make sure that the crime doesn't happen in the first place. So local police can know the bad boys and girls in the area and keep an eye on them and monitor them. If something goes wrong in this place, I have to call Ify. If he's the ringleader in that area.
Yes.
But with this federal policing system, that's why we find a lot of just random searches, raids, because you don't know anybody. They just come to your area based on some information, trying to, so that is how it is. And all police is political thuggery at the baseline of it, at the core of it, and during elections, trust me, you might see people wearing police uniforms, but they are not police officers.
Wow.
You understand? Already circumventing the law in the constitution in Southwest, Amotekun,
yes,
in the East, Ibubiagu, so I think in terms of this political checkmating, election is coming. They don't want the governors to be controlling their own personal armed force, because that is what it is. Everybody is, But regardless, the thugs that they cannot put in the state police, they will find way to engage them during the elections. Yeah.
There you go.
I know that, but we Nigerians, we must understand that we need such policing for our own security. We need to demand that power be devolved,
yes,
into our communities in terms of our own protection and things like that, And the amount of police we have in Nigeria is so laughable.
Of course.
You know, if you look at the number of police,
we are deficient.
Yeah, so that's how you know that even they are sending deploying 30,000 police for one governor election.
Wow.
So when we're now having national election, they have to send 30,000 to all the 30 states. Do we have 900,000 police officers? No. So you have to know that some people are entering that place that are not police officers for sure. You understand? But operating like police officers because they've been given the clearance to do so. You know, and they don't want to devolve such powers. You know, as we said, you know, with the Sanwo-Olu saga.
Yeah.
You understand? The police is the way the federal can, you know, blackmail, intimidate, checkmate the governors. You know, Obasanjo did it a lot. Send a hostile police commissioner to your state.
Wow.
To make sure that nothing happens in that state, you know, that without the federal government approval. You know, yeah, and also for rigging elections, you know, they control the commissioner of police of the state. You know, the security of the election will be compromised or strengthened, whichever favors the ruling party. You understand?
So really, with the governor of each state being the chief security officer, you know, having authority or power over the security votes, you know, what was that even created for in the first place?
To share money.
Yes, to share money to whom?
To themselves. So the governor, that's what justifies the governors have sold their birthright for security votes.
Wow.
So instead of, in the beginning of this, our 1999 election, democracy, saying, oh, we need our state, they agreed on the same security votes military administrators used to collect. You understand? So the government just gives you this bunch of money that nobody knows in the billions every month that you don't have to account for. It is not in the budget. This money is just given to you to make sure your state is safe.
It's safe and secure.
So now you have the security vote money with you. So now it's your job to, you call a commissioner of police, you give him his own, say keep eye and do your job. You call LASMA, you give a guy of LASMA, you give a guy of rapid response squad. All the security outfits, the soldiers, you give them their own. Navy, Air Force, you know, everybody that operates in your state will get something from you, but you keep the bulk.
So it's interesting. Why was it agreed? Like, why did the Constitution make provision for that? And
it's not constitutional.
It's not constitutional. Wow.
It is not. There's no security vote in the Constitution anyway.
And so, if the federal government has agreed to the security votes, you know, where they are giving, because the truth is, yes, the governors may not have authority over the police officials, but when you have power or influence over this amount of money.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So the commissioners have to be loyal to the governors
to
collect their wrapper every month. You understand? So that is how they want you to control. That's how you're the chief security officer.
Wow.
Basically, you're the chief sharing officer. See, that's CSO. They say CSO, chief security. He's chief sharing officer, really. You know, and then there are commissioner that's the pretending that came from after. He's not in the sharing of Lagos State. His own sharers told him what to do. Oga, we bulldoze you at this BD.
All right, so moving forward,
Nigeria police.
What do we do? Like, how best now that, you know, we can see the House of Reps have rejected the idea of state policing, and clearly we're in a position where our security is quite volatile at the moment. You know, we need help. We need all hands on deck. Nigeria needs to be protected. Lagos needs to be protected. Just the other day, we were talking about how some cultists were clashing in different parts of Lagos, and members of the different fractions of NERTW were clashing that led to the death and the injury of people as well. So moving forward, how then can we contain security if this idea of state policing is not even being adhered to at all, or they're not even trying to consider it?
You see now, these people that were fighting in NERTW are the people that will be conscripted into state police. Wow. If they had the opportunity to form it. Yeah, because who is in control of NURTW? Are we going to say the political apparatus of APC in Lagos State is not in complete control of MC Oluomo and all his crew? I mean, everybody in Lagos knows that. So I don't like when we discuss or analyze our issues, start trying to talk as if we don't know what is going on. These people are under the control of the state. They are state agents. You understand? They are card-carrying members of APC, their leadership. Card-carrying members. But they are allowed to cause mayhem and destruction all over the place. You understand? They now catch the two oga and they remand them for 30 days. Like, you know, punishment. They slap in the wrist for fighting. Yeah, go and face the wall. as if that is justice or that's how law should be done, because they're working for the state, you know. So that's what it is. Cultists, I mean, who do cultists work for if it's not for politicians? So we all know that whatever insecurity is going on in this country, whatever insecurity, it is only the rich people in Nigeria that can afford it. Poor people in Nigeria cannot afford insecurity. You cannot afford guns. People that cannot afford food. Communities that cannot even afford clean clothes. You see their children. But suddenly, sophisticated arms everywhere when it's time to kill people. So we all know where these things are coming from, you know, and how it is happening. So it is not about this insecurity. Is not a real insecurity itself. Because if Nigeria was truly insecure, all these rich people can be driving around with all these big cars, going out all night. Have you seen Lagos nightlife?
Oh, yeah.
You want to...
It's a thriving nightlife compared to other parts of the world.
How many times do you hear somebody say, I got robbed? Being robbed in night in Lagos is almost anomaly. You know, except you're in some areas. You know, but just moving.
Yeah.
Insecurity in Nigeria is purely political. Purely political. You understand? Yes, definitely there are criminals, but those same criminals that now have, you know, do their own crime, they are doing those crimes on their time. When they are really working, they are committing political violence. That's their real job. You understand? So for me, this is I mean, look at the story of Evans, for example.
Yes.
The kidnapper. We were told that Abba Kyari, oh my G, Abba, the fashion designer, Giacomo. When he arrested Evans, they said that was the biggest kidnapper in Nigeria, the kingpin coordinating all the kidnaps. Since they arrested him, kidnapping has gone up by 5,000%. How can you arrest the biggest kidnapper? You know, so something is not right. You know, so for me, that's the issue. All these people are protected by the state, are the ones committing most of the violence in Nigeria, from and their political owners to bandits and whatever it is that they claim is going on in this country. You know, you can draw a straight line from those violent acts or situations of insecurity direct to our political situation. You know.
All right, if you're listening, please feel free to join the conversation. This conversation about state policing and the House of Reps rejecting this. What are your thoughts? And moving forward, how do you think that security can be better managed in Nigeria? 0809-234-5913. 0809-222-0913. 01515-0913, 01515-1913. On WhatsApp, it's 0809-234-5913. Lagos Talks, good morning. Please turn off your radio.
Good morning, P.
Good morning. Who's speaking?
Good morning, Seun.
Good morning, no.
This is Malik speaking.
Hello,
Hi.
Malik.
Hello.
I would say, Seun,
Yes.
are you aware that those coming up in Nigeria have one motive? Hammer money, buy motor, rent out, collect police, spend them.
We know.
I don't know if you understand me. Everybody wants to oppress everybody. Everybody wants to oppress everybody. So the big men now don't want the the upcoming ones to would enjoy. Why you say we don't want state police? The police should still be under the government. So when election comes, we will arrange your election anyway. Or you don't get the point? When they talk about say weapons they everywhere, why do me when in there now? The captain wait there when they arrest them. And when they make those people kill the other policemen. What do we hear about them? Nothing. Look, everything in the country is organized. And they know how they play the game. If we the people don't sit down and say enough is enough, our mumu don't do you think the country will move forward? So no matter how you speak or how you talk, how many young men will listen to your point and say, Seun is correct? Now that I will say, I better leave and join the get to my time, go have my money, get my security to go do what I want to. We all have this problem, Seun. Till we come to our senses and say, enough is enough, they will never change. Thank you.
Thank you, Malik.
Very much. All right, Lagos Talks, good morning. Who's speaking, please?
Yeah, good morning.
Sorry? Yinka, all right. Welcome. Join the conversation.
Yeah, morning, Seun.
Good morning, Oyinka.
I actually like what you said about something going through with the people, and I just want to build on that. This morning I was checking the total police account in Nigeria, and I see that they are just under 40,000, which means that they are highly under police. We are highly under police in this country.
Artists and celebrities, 200,000.
Wow.
That's a kilo. Now, how do you sort out insecurity? The police is saddled with the responsibility of providing security internally. The army is overstretched. How do you see any state in Nigeria where the army is not there? Yes, the military is not involved. We want providing secret cover or the other. It shows that what our police is practically non-existent. Now, solving insecurity requires a practical approach. One, how will the House of Assembly members be ruling against state police? I mean, before you can delegate on any issue, you should talk to the constituents. Talk to us against them. We are the constitutional state police. What did I say here? And you find that these guys, they go to Abuja, they don't come to their constituency, but the after 4 years they want to elect. But that's another thing for another day. Their counts. How do you see anyone who wants to join police? I don't want to join police. But then again, there are ways we can go out this thing.
You cannot talk so. If police say they recruit, trust me, people will go join. The kind of stuff away they town now. You remember when immigration they recruit? Now 10 people die for the stampede now.
Fact,
the stadium full.
Wow.
Stadium full.
These guys receive, these doctrinal training as the police. We talk about corruption and the pastor office we are about. The one we know, the notorious for the police. Ask us, do you need that number of officers here? We use them. We need human factors. Point them to the police. It will show the number it is. NSCDC. Match them with the police. If you lose the number it is. Ask them, I don't want to find on you. I help them, for them. Add them to the police. Retrain them. And inform them. At least you can put up the numbers. These are practical solutions. But just like you said, and I do see, insecurity in this country is organized crime.
Exactly. And you have to understand that this 375 we did down already. They don't pay them their salary on time. They don't fuel the cars. Police have to fuel the cars by themselves. They don't do anything. They don't pay for us. I have top cops that are my friends. When they are talking about how they run their police stations, what they have to go through to get money to run the stations, you understand? You have to understand. Is this? How can you care about people saying how much is police salary in a month?
In the first place.
The bullets in their gun. All these police really carry gun. Not 4 bullets now in the day inside. They say they buy by themselves.
And are these people joining the police force because they're willing to put their lives on the line, or is because of the condition?
It's a job. It's a job.
There you go.
It's a job, and then there's no welfare for them going while they are doing the job. But at the same time, you're an adult. As I always say, your pain is not an excuse or justification to cause other people pain.
That's very
now, you know, to carry your police, not going to use your frustration. They can't meet us on streets.
However, you know what? If we're properly dissecting issues, we need to go to the root cause of it, because there are certain reasons why inevitably crime is rife in the country. If poverty is high, crime will be rife in the country, and it's almost inevitable. So if we're being very honest, if we take a look at the very debilitating state of the police colleges, starting with that, and then putting these same people to actually protect the lives of people that they are seeing that some of them are thriving, why do you think that some of these police people make it a duty to oppress other people? Because they are being oppressed as well.
Yes, and it is such a shame that the training they receive, the way they are trained, the dehumanizing
there you go.
Of the person that is turned into the officer. You understand? You're
turning them into beasts.
It is the same colonial training system. They've not Africanized the relationship between the institution and the recruits and the people they are bringing in, that, oh, you are coming to protect Nigerians.
Exactly.
They are still saying, oh, you are coming to protect the rich from poor Nigerians, the haves from the have-nots. Basically, that is Nigerian police. That's why it's only in Nigeria, say, you will see that celebrity, anybody, footballer, is walking around with police. You can't go to the UK and see a hurricane with police escort.
Of course not.
Their biggest striker. Never. For what reason that he has police protecting him? For what? If you need police, call like everybody else.
Wow.
If you want security, you employ personal security.
All right, this is coming from Ayodele on Twitter saying, as we consider state police, we should also consider taking the police away from the executive and making a department under the judiciary. Adeboyega is saying, if the way and manner at which the police officers that followed the CP will laugh their behinds out, and the ones that saw how he embarrassed the governor that day on live TV cannot be imagined. It was a dream that the governor will never forget. And he also went further saying there's no politician that will say that he doesn't know the people behind insecurity in Nigeria. He knows those benefiting from the oil subsidy. He's aware of those behind smuggling and killing in the country. Sadly, he's also a beneficiary. All right, this is coming from Chijioke on WhatsApp.
The biggest smuggler in Nigeria is one of APC's biggest party chiefs. What's his name again? I've forgotten his name. This one, there's a book. There's a whole book about his smuggling activities.
Wow.
Yeah, the looting machine. That's the name of the book. And I've forgotten his name. I can't believe his name just escaped my mind right now. Yeah, he's Baba. Now they fund any APC, Buhari, anything Buhari need, money is dropping. You know, he's there in APC. He's a card carrying member. That then El Rufai that time. After trying to lock him up. They were actually trying to lock him up, then they actually just actually brought him into the party instead. Interesting story about the guy.
That's
very interesting.
Very interesting. All right, this one is coming from Chijioke saying, on the issue of state police, we are overdue for state police in Nigeria. The argument that the governors will use them against opponents is hogwash. The federal government is guilty of the same thing. If we start state policing, we use the laws and the courts to check the politicians, and with time, things will improve. The present government and National Assembly are anti-people. This is coming from McDaily saying, shout out to Ify and the Big Bird for putting the people in perspective. Joash is saying, for me, having a state police should go with greater state resource control and independent local government system.
Exactly.
But the selfish government will not agree. This is coming from a listener saying, kudos to you, Seun. You've said it all. Our major problem in this country is Nigeria's governors and the National Assembly. They know the right thing to do, but they refuse. Kalewensky is saying there are two categories of people who love Nigeria. The first category are the likes. All right, I'm guessing that's not for us. You're saying, in my view, decentralizing the police is the way to go. But beyond that, we need to find a way to make our institutions strong. If not, we will decentralize and nothing will happen. Damian is saying, until we realize that our politicians are using our national resources for their personal gain, we will keep talking and repeating 1960 agenda. This is coming from a listener saying Tom Burgess's The Looting Machine.
That's the book.
Lagos Fox, good morning. Please turn off your radio.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's your name?
My name is Balogun from Bogota.
All right, let's hear you quickly.
My whole view is state police are already, I don't know on what state. We have a state police. Only we are asking them to be not registered fully. Truly, if you want state police in Lagos, even though you need those graduates, they will put those Oluomo and the others anyhow to control them. It will result to the same thing. They will be the one to have access to that state police. It will result to the same thing. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. In case you're just tuning in, this is The People's Perspective, brought to you by Adam and Eve, your luxury homeware store. We're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsors. After that, let us move on to the next story for today, where the federal government is saying that 500,000 bank accounts have been found where apparently civil servants put and pack and push and store money. And of course, people are saying these are stolen funds. So we're going to be taking a look at that and taking a look at corruption as a whole, and if there is a possibility that corruption can be completely curbed in Nigeria, and how. Stick around.
You're on to your #1 radio station, and boy, do I have some exciting news for you. Now, guys, trust me, you know when I come through to your radio, I come bringing you some exciting information. Now, this is coming from Adam and Eve Luxury.
Anytime I'm hearing our adverts, the comments full of people trying to marry you.
Trying to marry me? All right, guys. Yes. Let me see what you Let me see what your proposals are like, guys. Let me see. Bring them through.
Just how much you care. And we've come to understand that for many couples, Valentine is more than just
this one is he's always watching the show to make sure I'm not too stingy. That's why I'm not sure he doesn't participate.
Take some time out to put more
Truth, Alpha.
Happy trip.
Chop knock.
Mr. T. Hi.
He's Mr. T from Italy.
Yeah. Mr. T.
Which number? What's our WhatsApp number?
0809
234
591.
Adam and Eve Luxury Home Store is the
You just have to give me like 20 more minutes, yes, please. Any plans for Valentine's?
Yes, I'm taking her out.
The thing is, I have no plans for Valentine's Day. You are going out with your wife, I beg.
But
I have no plans for Valentine's Day, guys. So I probably might like organize lunch with my single female friends. So you know,
they love you and they respect Big Ben. You don't go better for her.
They love me and respect me.
It's me. The respect you have for me. Woman kill you there.
So that's all the exciting information I have to share with you from Adam and Eve. Make that one stop today at Adam and Eve Luxury Home Store and have yourself an unforgettable Valentine this year. Alright, till I catch you next time, it's peace. No chill. Hello, my Kuti people. She's the nice one. Always trying to keep him out of trouble.
All these my followers. They only fear. Now for this page, they won't catch fine girl. Hey, 2 vex not ready to keep us already. So I mean, we're all good.
So we're all.
No, I know it. Come, all of you should stop it.
Father, help us all.
Seun Kuti, Other People's Perspective, every Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 noon on Lagos Talks 91.3.
Tunji say he won't invite you for Valentine for Italy.
Ooh, Mr. T.
Mr. T, now wow.
Send everything, the private jet or the first class flight ticket, and you know, everything else that's necessary for me to come through. I mean, Valentine's Day should be a public holiday, so I'll be there.
And me, your friend, Mr. T. Never have I been invited to Italy.
To Italy. Alright, we're going on. Alright, welcome back. It's 11:39, and to everyone who's watching us live on Big Bird's Instagram page, thank you so much for coming through, and thanks for your nice comments talking about what plans we have on Valentine's Day. You can see what Adam and Eve has in store for you for Valentine's Day. So to all those asking on Seun's Instagram live, Adam and Eve, we've been playing that for you to so that you have plans for Valentine's
exactly.
Day.
You know the kind of things we like here.
Exactly.
You know the kind of things we like. So we'll go to Adam and Eve. Not all this I like it, it's not for mouth. Let's arrive here on that day and see things happening in the studio.
Of course. Let's see the gifts.
If I look at the gift, I'll know the person that is, worthy.
Worthy.
You understand?
Alright guys, welcome back to your favorite show, The People's Perspective, brought to you by Adam and Eve, your luxury homeware store. Please feel free to join the conversation. We have been speaking a lot about state policing. Now we're moving on to another story. The federal government has said that it has discovered more than 500,000 secret bank accounts allegedly used by civil servants in the ministries, departments and agencies where stolen funds belonging to the country are stashed.
And what are the names of the people operating these accounts?
Wait, before we get to that, This revelation was contained in a statement that was released on Tuesday, issued by the Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to the President, Garba Shehu, while responding to claims by the Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom that the Buhari-led government was responsible for the poor financial woes of states in the country. However, in its response, the presidency accused civil servants of siphoning monies meant for the states in connivance with the state governors. In the statement, which was primarily directed at Ortom, Shehu slammed the Benue governor for blaming Buhari for his state's financial woes, saying the president has never failed to bail out states every month since coming into power. So we are seeing that the federal government is coming out with those claims, saying, oh, we've discovered over 500,000 accounts where civil servants stash stolen money, and they do this in connivance with state governors. And we've seen that Nigeria has dropped again on the Corruption Perception Index published by Transparency International. So this same conversation about corruption, when you ask people what is Nigeria's major issue, some people would say the leaders, some people would say the people, some people would say corruption, that if you can curb corruption, Nigeria will move forward. Now, I would like for you to comment first on this 500,000 bank accounts, and let's move on to if there is a possibility that corruption in this day and age can be curbed to the barest minimum in Nigeria. So with this 500,000 bank accounts, is this something that seems far-fetched? 500,000 bank accounts that are secret.
I know, but what we need to discuss right now? See, as I say to people, there's no way that corruption can happen in Nigeria without the active participation of the so-called private sector. And now everybody in Nigeria is clamoring, they want president from private sector. I'm thinking, do we live in some kind of twilight zone? I don't get it. Like we're in some kind of insane asylum that you can see clearly with your eye what is happening, but you'll be talking as if you are mad. I'm telling you, it's true. Nigerians continue. We want private sector president. That's what is. That is the somebody from the private sector. What private sector? These banks and the whole BVN wahala they give Nigerians. That because of we must have BVN, so that people will not be operating secret account. Now we are still finding 500,000, not one account, not 1,000 accounts, not 10,000, 500,000 accounts, 500 as my Igbo people say, 1,000, 500,000 accounts that are secret. Upon saying there is BVN, so who are the MDs of these banks? Are they trying to say they don't know that this illegal money is in their accounts, in their banks? You know, who is in charge? Who is their chief financial officer of the bank? Let's find out what's going on. Because they all know it is an active connivance and participation of the private sector, private workers, even the professionals. Even, you know, I said there's no way the Nigerian system can be this corrupt without corrupt professionals. Can you say you want to give anybody work in Nigeria that will not inflate the price? It is how it must be done. The same people that will be complaining every day, government is bad, government is a thief, in their houses in Lekki and VI, driving their big car. Give them government contract now on behalf of Nigerian people. What will they do there? They will inflate the price. Anything in Nigeria is more expensive than anywhere else. If Nigeria builds hospital, it's more expensive than the hospital built in Ghana, more expensive than the one built in London. If Nigeria builds roads, it's more expensive than the UK spends to build the same kind of road. You understand what I'm saying? With 687 barrel per day capacity refinery in Nigeria costs 19 billion, while they sold one in America, same refinery, they say because that one is old, as if there's a refinery in a car. You understand? Like the old model day. Not the same 687,000 barrel go refining a day.
Indeed.
Less than $1 billion something was sold in America, while Dangote just stood at 19 billion his own cost. So what are we saying here? What are we saying? This country, there is something about the Nigerian professional that is the cause of corruption. Because without the Nigerian professional who has bought hook, line and sinker the narrative of our oppressors, corruption will just not continue. I keep saying it. For some reason, people think you are a fool if you are not corrupt in Nigeria. That's the narrative. So if you're a journalist, you have access to a governor, and you don't take bribe from him to lie and sell your words, you are not a smart journalist. You see those kind of upside down thinking. And we sell this thinking to young people. If you have opportunity to cheat and you don't cheat, you are a mugu.
But Seun, I want you to comment on this, because I like the fact that you mentioned that a lot of these things will not happen if the private sector and maybe the middle class are not in connivance. However, this thing called corruption, isn't this sadly a bane in society that can even be found in the grassroots? The people who, you're saying that we should all come together and fight for, which are at the grassroots, if they are giving that same opportunity, because even in their day-to-day living, we can still see corruption. So
yes.
Really, is it more of a middle class type issue, or is it more of a Nigerian?
Their corruption is due to the fact that they have to be corrupt to access us. You understand? If we, the professionals of Nigeria, are doing our job and standing for the people, making sure that there's good hospital, good transport, we are not helping the government cheat, we are calling out the government, we are building those institutions, those platforms, those social services that our nation needs, housing, all these things that people need. I don't think these grassroots people will be as corrupt as we think that they are. But they too living day to day, hand to mouth. There's no social safety net. If they don't take money home to feed their family, their kids stand a real risk of dying of hunger. This is a real risk, not the way we say it in the abstract way, hunger they kill me, but a real risk. Exposure, being kicked out and living on the street is a real risk. So I understand people that face that kind of risk, doing whatever they can to get by. But you, Ogada, you're already sitting on billions. This is what I'm saying. You are sitting on billions already, and you're still stealing millions. What do we have to say about you? What is wrong with you? There's something wrong. You've already built one house, you bought car, you're still going to your office to try and look for a way to steal more. Oh God, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with you. Don't compare yourself to the thief that is stealing, because he's facing real dangers. You understand? If in child get malaria, can die because of this 2,000 naira drug. There's no private public hospital to take care of his child. If he doesn't bring that money, are your own children at risk of dying from malaria? No. But you still go and steal millions. For what? So I think if we, the Nigerian professionals, begin to do what we ought to do. I mean, I tell people, because that's how they blame poor people. We want to blame poor people all the time. There's a real hatred for the poor here, because the rich have to make it so. That's their narrative. You even go to church, they make it as if being poor is a sin against God. That rich people are God's loved ones. If you are rich, no matter how you got rich, God loved you. Now God give her. Even though he killed millions of people, God give her. You understand? So there's a real stigma about being poor. People are ashamed of being poor. People are living in debt just because they don't want to look poor. You understand? So you find out we blame poor people for anything in this country. So even election, they'll say, poor people take 5,000 naira and vote. Don't say your vote for 4,000. While you, as journalist, you've sold your own words for 50,000. Banker, you've sold your own conscience. Laundry money for millions. Architect, you've inflated price. Contractor, everybody don't sell their own, don't collect their own. It can't reach time for poor people to collect their own. The only thing they can say, they don't sell your vote. The only way poor people will not sell their vote in Nigeria is the journalist doesn't sell his words, the teacher doesn't sell his knowledge, banker doesn't sell his conscience, contractors don't sell their soul. All of us, if we all start to sell, trust me, poor people too will stop selling their vote.
So just taking a look at more of a sustainable solution, especially where we know that the middle class and the political, or rather the middle class and the private sector, have a huge role to play in moving Nigeria forward. How then can we somewhat ingrain this orientation so that they understand that whatever moves they make and whatever decisions they make affect Nigeria as a whole? Because we can't also take away from the fact that some of these people who might be genuine in their dealings are just looking for a way to make sure that their own family survives. The same way everyone is like, at least let my family eat, let my family get an education. So how then can we ingrain this in their own conscience and their own subconscious, where they know that whatever decisions they make, they have to be intentional because they know that it affects the lower class?
Yes, but if we strive for a good country, our families will eat. Our families will have good housing. our families will have good health care. These things that we sell our souls and our conscience to say we are protecting of, we are innately, as we are born citizens of this country, entitled to these things. So why do we want to be among a chosen few giving these things as privilege? Something that is a right. Because you want to feel more special than the next person. They are not making you feel special. They're giving you something that should be your right as a privilege. You are now using it to lord it over those excluded from such. Me, I don't think that this our fear is justified. You know, oh, we are just protecting ourselves. It's not. I feel there's something innately anti-African about it, anti-people, because we are raised not to respect Africa. All the education you learn, everything you learn in school is to make sure you grow up not respecting Africa. That's why they teach you like, oh, may the Slessor stop the killing of twins in Calabar, you know, and things like that. You'll be thinking, oh, what barbarians we are from. I don't want to have anything to do with this. Let me look forward to European progress. You know, everybody wants to be civilized. You understand? So we innately don't have respect for one another. We don't respect our land. So, but if we can, because it's something that happens to all of us because we go to school. So it's something you must deliberately exorcise from your body. It's like a spirit. It's like an evil spirit that has possessed all of us. Yes, it's true. We have to understand that. Going through the educational system in any colonized or enslaved society where this education is given by the oppressor, you have to come out hating yourself. That's the only way they can continue to dominate you.
Wow.
So after they've possessed you with this spirit or infected you, nobody will diagnose it for you because they want to heal you from it. It's something you come to on your own, and relating it with your reality, try as much as you can to exorcise the spirit from your body. You know, the way you go and exorcise fake spirits, fake demons from people's body in church, especially women.
That's not the conversation.
It's true.
It's not the conversation.
We should now exercise. It's true. I know it's so anti-woman.
All right.
All the witches are always women. Why?
Let's get to the first
no man witch.
As well as, I mean, there are wizards, to be honest. This is coming from Obi. Obi, first of all, this is the big bird, not big fish, because he said big fish and coffee.
Big fish is the band.
Yes, that's the band. So this is the big bird, okay? He said big fish for now. I can't support state policing. Minus the governor's probably abusing it. What about non-indigens as well? Can a Yoruba guy living in Abia State for about a decade be recruited to Abia State Police?
If he, of course, now he's not paying tax in Abia State.
There you go. This is coming from listeners saying let the government release the names of the 500,000 account number owners so that we can go and collect our share. Joel is saying since we have a good security in the east, Amotekun in the west and north, rights to protect matters in the law court is all that is needed. The Sharia courts dominate, or their dominance in the north is simply one thesis that crosses ethnic segmental cleavage. Will Christians in the north be prosecuted based on Islamic rule? This is from Maurice saying how Ife and Chill, the Nigerian police want the government to be upright, whilst they, the people, want to remain dubious. The corruption stems from the people. This is from Chifudo saying we should be the #1 on the corruption index, and fighting corruption should start from the top. Nigerians voted for this government believing they would reduce corruption. Family man that doesn't even go home with ordinary 30,000 minimum wage in this economy can't be able to avoid corruption. And Obi said, Big Bird, my apologies. Let's take some more calls. Lagos Talks. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Lagos Talks.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Remy. I'm calling from Tottenham.
Why are you calling from Tottenham?
Why don't you like
Remy
Tottenham?
again. You called I'm an Arsenal fan now.
Forget, I'm not a Tottenham fan.
Okay, good. Welcome to the show, my brother. Nice one. Remy in the building.
You see, corruption is now a culture, and it's going to be difficult for us to completely take it out of our system, out of our lives. But my question is, why is it that if information was released by the special advisor, by the publicity person for the president or the presidency, is that his job?
Abi?
There you go.
You have the right institutions to deal with issues like this. I think he was just trying to score political points
And that is why I'm angry that I gave up on Nigeria a few weeks ago when I heard a National Assembly member saying, we cannot, we have to listen to whatever the president says because it's an elderly man. It's not good to disrespect your elders.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, how dare you? Who disrespect? How did you get there? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm begging people. They don't bewitch us, yeah? I mean, we must ensure that anybody that has no functioning brain, if they are there now, keep them out. If they want to come in, don't let them come in. Because voting simply means, if I'm voting for you, I am telling you, this is my life, my present, my future, my spirit, soul, and body. Take it and run it for 4 years. And if you have got nothing to offer, I'm finished. So this is what voting means.
Wow.
Keep these people out.
All right,
so
Remy.
we can fight
Thank
corruption.
you so much.
You know, and fighting corruption, you know, there's something to understand that corruption is part of real politics. There's no way to be political, to be a nation without having corrupt practices. But what the great nations of today have realized that you have to be corrupt for your benefit. The United States government is highly corrupt. The UK government is very corrupt.
Very true.
But they are corrupt for their development.
Yes.
They will steal and cheat others for the benefit of their country.
There you go.
Our own corruption is the reverse.
So it's more personal, not national.
Where we are destroying ourselves for the benefit of others. You understand?
Interesting.
So that's for me, you know, why do you think Americans are not up in arms about their government corruption? You say they don't know about it. The lies to go to Iraq, 3 million dead there, a weapon of mass destruction that didn't exist, all the drone warfare in Syria, all these government changes everywhere they go to, they know that their government is oppressive and, you know, they are committing unjust acts. But they see the dividend of those acts.
All right, this is from David Godwin on Twitter saying, Shewan, if you good morning, Jerry, I beg, make them just sell this country, share the change, give me my own take. Let me find another one to enter, because right now you don't choke. Nice one, guys. All right, it's 11:58. This is where we wrap up the show for today. Thank you so much, everyone who was a part of this show. And most especially, thank you to our sponsors, Adam and Eve,
The best shop in
luxury homeware
The best shop.
Wow. I don't know if NBC will be happy with me.
So, is there criteria for best shop? Anybody is a subjective. Is a subjective.
Indeed.
Something. It's the best shop to me.
To you, Seun.
Yes, it's the best shop in Nigeria.
To Seun Kuti. All right. So, before saying goodbye, Seun, it's always a pleasure, you know, hosting the show with you. Before saying goodbye, any words?
You can follow on our social media. Twitter is back, so at Real Seun Kuti. Facebook, Seun Kuti. Instagram, Big Bird Kuti. And as always, you know, starting the weekend great with the graceful Ify by my side. You know, just getting some of that vibes to release into the environment is all the climate change efforts we need. Ooh!